Back with another episode of The Truth About Pro Wrestling. It's had to be an episode, it's already there. We had to go there. It's, especially with this, I I didn't have the chance because, so many things was going on at the time. But I felt like now, so I was like, okay, yeah, it's whatever, because it's just something I really wanted to speak on. Because, alright, yeah, because here's the thing. Alright, so apparently, of course, the whole thing that happened is like, yeah, like, of course, I mean, I like, with Undertaker, he had like kind of like a partnership with wouldn't say not really, but like, yeah, I mean, he had like a podcast thing going on with his best friend. I guess one of his best friends called Matt, and it was called, of course, it was called 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. And yeah, they would just talk about things in the business and the trajectory of Taker's career. Mark, as the Mark Calloway as the character Undertaker, and just yeah, damn, can you imagine, dude? Just just all that, like Undertaker doing, like, yeah, doing a podcast now. After, like, years, like years ago, saying like he wouldn't, like, as far as like be outside as, like, or as far as like really breaking kayfabe, but I guess that doesn't really it's good too, not that that really matters anymore. But yeah, like, he had the whole podcast thing going on with his one of his best friends and Matt. And truth be told, like, yeah, after like a good, I guess, 6 months, or like a good chunk of them doing content, that's when Taker, and that was like, what, pretty much the only thing that Taker had to his name, other than the fact of him being completely owned by WWE. But no, yeah, I mean, now the podcast is owned and operated by WWE on their channel too. So, and yeah, I mean, yeah, and then you're left with now just Taker is just him to pay a podcast, and pretty much Matt is just nowhere to begin with. And there was like a whole, of course, there was like him talking about the aftermath and as such, and how he, of course, obviously, I mean, he was trying, of course, trying to be as cordial and trying to be as professional as he could, but see, I mean, it's fucked up. And Taker pretty much, yeah, I mean, call it like it is. Taker pretty much fucked him over. And like, yeah, like, cause I saw clips of that interview of him with Maven, and he was mad. He was just like, yeah, he was pretty much heartbroken and felt like he got fucked over. And yeah, I mean, that's fucked up. Anyway you look at, any way how you look at it. And of course, Michelle McCool too. His wife is on the podcast, and yeah, like, that's also, like, also another thing I want to talk about. Just like, we got to go into there too, which is another reason why I really wanted to go onto this thing. I believe I talked about Michelle also, his wife. I believe I talked about her months ago when when it came time for, like, the Hall of Fame, and how I didn't agree, and how this is pretty much just which kind of also even more so looked like, Taker pulling his weight at the time. Michelle McCool just getting a free pass, free ride because of who she's married to. But like, yeah, like, I mean, this is why, especially too, like, the type of path that I'm going down nowadays. To, like, yeah, it's just like, I mean, I feel like when you get older, you get you really get a sense. You really get I feel like you really get a lockdown, much more. I guess at least the basic fundamentals, or I guess, oh man, yeah, this is the world that we live in, and I mean, this is humanity now, and this is the society we had to survive in. And like, yeah, like, I really, like, yeah, I mean, celebrities. Look, like, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, I had, like, people, like, celebrities that, of course, that you like, and look, I guess at one point looked up to. But it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, don't be over obsessive, and really take it to, like, be, really anything, because I mean, I said just like celebrities are just like they're just like us. I mean, they are he's still human beings. You know, they could also have flaws. They can also do fucked up things. They're also capable of doing and being yeah, pretty much fucked up individuals. And yeah, I mean that's Undertaker is a clear name, but yeah, Undertaker is a clear example that what he did to his best friend Matt, and that's just take the podcast away and just pretty much of him not having a say in it. I don't know, like I mean, I would have hoped too, at least he had compensated Matt for it, but it's like. I mean, you could say it's everything like how it's just that. Well, it was Taker's podcast. This is like Taker's business venture, and everything. Like, Matt having little to do with anything of it. I mean, like they both could. I said, that was just the whole thing. Like it was the thing because it was he had like a Joe Rogan, or it was like it was one of like Taker's podcasts. And I feel like cause it's still too popular too, but like until they whatever. But like, well, I don't know. The audience is starting not to like it because they don't like it. But like, yeah, it was like one of the popular things around YouTube. Like for especially like for wrestling, it was like one of those things. Like, yeah, it's like fresh, it's new, and it's like it has this type of Joe Rogan vibe to it, and people just dug it because they just talked about of course the business and whether it's Taker's career and just professional wrestling as a whole, and it's just yeah, I mean, kind of like some of that is gone now because WWE now owns it, it's a WWE property, and it's kind of saturated. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of got downgraded, and yeah, and so it's like it's just when you look at yeah, that's like really a bitter pill to swallow. And yeah, you look at Michelle McCool and how it's like, how people they just don't fuck with. That's how I said too. That's why I just I really don't have put stake and put faith into celebrities. That's why I'm really not surprised when you look at I'm looking at this situation with Taker and his best friend because, like I said, anybody's capable of doing fucked up things and can be in a fucked up individual and pretty much chose money over his best friend Matt. Pretty much, and what it looks like, what it looks like. And you have Michelle McCool that of course people don't like her, they don't care about her, and regardless of not, of course, I mean she's his wife and he loves her. So it's like obviously Taker's gonna be head over heels in anything now. Now that's pretty much like the thing now of how of course even more so they're making it now about how apparently she did this or contributed to this when that's not even the case. She's always gonna have that character now. She's always gonna be regardless if she's his wife or not too because she's in the Hall of Fame now, so and she's Taker's wife, so that even gives them, even if some people don't want to admit it, that gives her even more of a plus because of the fact she's married to Taker. And people just feel of course, and it I probably would do get to have the distinction, but probably does she does bring the podcast down, and it's probably people mocking the fact that how she's how it's just take her pretty much bring your wife to work day. I mean it's hilarious, but it's because she really it just doesn't add really she really doesn't add anything to the podcast. It's just it really is almost it's kind of cute having my wife comment on professional wrestling. I mean she was a professional wrestler, but it's it's not like she was a veteran beyond that point. So which I'm pretty sure also, even though I'm either podcast I plan to, but either podcast I don't think, but Michelle, even though she doesn't sound I don't know, like she probably has her own spin, and probably like has her to where she's to even the amount of time that she's for the limited time that she was in the business. Yeah, I don't think she's that. Well, she's not that. Of course, she's not even a name. She's like her when she comes up. Of course, she's gonna be connected to Taker. So like, I don't get the point here, of course, and it's just like, yeah, she's just on there, of course, too, because WWE's gonna have her on there. She's Taker's wife, and they need to yeah. Obviously he didn't bring along Matt, and they need yeah, so they're gonna need somebody to play to fill that. And Michelle McCool is yeah, far from the one to fill that hole. And I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like what it used to. Yeah, because yeah, they WB has already turned it into what they want it to be, and it's just yeah, it does suck. And yeah, I do feel for people because it's not what they wanted, and it's not what the content that they liked to begin with. And but yeah, I think I pretty much said it already too. So how fucked up it is. The how Taker treated and handled the situation. How baby basically chose a paycheck. An even more amounts of money was he's rich, but it's yeah, he chose just purely money over his best friend, and I feel like that's fucked up. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna regardless, but I don't know. Regardless if we ever still have a relationship after this, but yeah, yeah, you could just go back to that interview, and just see how, I definitely feel for the dude, the Matt, just how heartbroken and shocked and just yeah, how they had a goal, pretty much him and yeah, and just how that yeah, it's just probably a simple fact too that he liked what he was doing, and now now it's taken away. But yeah, that's yeah, in favor of them Taker. He's apparently is supposedly his best friend, and over with the machine and money and whatever. So yeah, that's why I felt. Yeah, I just had this me coming and speaking on this as far as that. It's it's still a big thing about people questioning Taker's Taker's character and how fucked up this was and how he did Matt and just how he chose. Of course, he chose the corporation, money, and just of course the wife. It's just Michelle McCool, just yeah, just utterly being unoriginal. Yeah, yeah, just yeah, very controversial because yeah, it's just it's still being talked about right now too, and it's been what I think almost probably close to a month now too, but I feel like it's been weeks too, and yeah, it's even more so blowing up. But yeah, it just goes to show you too how just people didn't expect this from Taker, and yeah, didn't know how Taker could be that capable of individual who could do that. So who was how perceived his character is in professional wrestling,